Hey, welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Monday. How we doing out there? Holy cold, Batman, right? Like, it's really cold here in Florida. This sweater normally, it's a little cold, you wear a sweater. It's really cold. I'm not complaining, but, I'm complaining. Hey, welcome to the closing beat. It's a quick stock market show that we do usually every day for you. No show this Friday actually coming up, and how do you like that? I'll give you a little heads up in the meantime. Hey, quick shout out to a couple customers here. Brandon, how awesome. Brandon sent us a card. Congrats on getting to the 100 million that we made it to, a recent milestone there. Appreciate that, Brandon. And then friend Nathan is also a customer. Sent a picture of us celebrating there and said congratulations there to our milestone as well. That was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. That's going up on the wall. For both of you there. Do appreciate that. I know we live in like a digital age, but a little physical attaboy ain't bad now and then. So thank you so much for that. Hey, although there's no show on Friday, we've got some great videos coming out this week, actually. Today we did our FinTips video on the seasonal stock market performance. I had a little extra time, just went geeky with some of the stats there. Hope you enjoy. And then on Wednesday this week, we are actually going to break down every single one of our customers, the average retirement plan, the average age, how many there are, so that you can see if you are of a certain age and you want to retire at a certain age or whatever, what's the average? You may know that we do a financial, at least an initial retirement plan for customers, and so just going through that data so you can see what's going on there. Kind of a cool one, actually. A lot of numbers. Be ready for that one there. All right, let's talk about the stock market because I got a lot that I could do today, so let's dive into it. Look, after being up about 3% year to date, the last few days of January erased all of that and then some because today's February 1st. So we were down about 1% in the S&P. Well, today basically erases all of that. What was really cool, if you follow the Dow futures overnight, they were down 300 points. Right? It was like 290 and change or something like that. Stock market opens up down 290 on the Dow. And by 10 o'clock at night, I watched the whole thing. It just recovered all of it, went back to positive, never looked back from there. Today we had, 200 and some points there? Very, very wide range day if you count the overnight session there. So kind of interesting. I'll start with the NASDAQ here to take a look. Right off the 50-day moving average, back to about 3% gains year to date. While FANG was your biggest contributors to the rally today, like you had Facebook in there. I don't need to go through all of them. Amazon, teasing you, right? Is it going to go? Is it not going to go? What's going to happen there? Those were your biggest contributors, the FANGs, but semiconductors led the way, man, in terms of total returns. So semiconductors reversing off of their trend. If you look at the SMH, if you like, just a nice, tight, consistent trend, got a little extended. What happened? It pulled back, and now maybe we get the next rally there. Very normal for an uptrending stock to breathe a little bit, or an uptrending industry in this case. So a couple that stand out there, NXP Semiconductors, nice rally off the 50-day moving average. Applied Materials, we've talked about quite a bit. Amazing run on that one. Great little bounce there. And KLA 10 Core, nice bounce basically in the same location. Semiconductors, you're looking at the biggest gainers in the NASDAQ. That's what you're going to find there. The Dow today was helped by Microsoft. Microsoft continues to break out. Looking good there. Got a sideways range. A lot of Amazon investors are hoping that that's what happens to Amazon. You finally get the freaking breakout there. You also had Visa. Oh, no. Visa got a nice attempt at a bounce around the 200-day moving average there. 3M was one of your weaker ones here. Just continues to pull back right on top of support, though. Kind of interesting. If you look at the Russell 2000, that was one of the better areas today. Second best performing index out of the major four. Up about 6.5% year to date. Take a look. Bed Bath & Beyond. This was one of the ones from the old short squeeze. That short squeeze trade is starting to fade away. GameStop, starting to fade away, down $100. That's 30% in one day. Oh no, you had the other ones as well. There was a group of about, 40 or 50 of them. SunPower starting to pull back a little bit. Fizz was the other one. Rocket Ship on the way up, and a falling rock on the way back down there. In there, Russell 2000, you got Novavax continuing to ride that sort of that vaccine production rally there, and the upgrades that it got today. A ton of upgrades overall. You also had INO. This is starting to wake up there. They had a secondary offering, about $150 million. That is officially done, and so that kind of took the lid off the stock here in the short term. Nice one if you were paying attention to that. Also, I want to point out 3D. is, the 3D makers here. Everybody's focused elsewhere, but the 3D printers looking pretty good overall. That's a nice move from what, $10 to $40? Yeah, that's not a short squeeze. That's just a strong move. Everybody's interested in that one there. Very extended, by the way, so something to keep an eye on. The S&P 500 closed below the 50-day moving average for the first time since November 3rd. Over here, and finally got a little bit of, or not finally, but got a little bounce off the 50 days. So far, you like that action if you're a bull. You want to see it continue tomorrow. If we don't see any follow through tomorrow, or we see kind of a ho-hum, choppy kind of a day, that's not good. That's going to make the bears think that they still might have a little bit of control. If we go through the individual sectors today, they were all in the green. Now, here's the thing. Through the month of January, which is also year to date, if you want to take a look at that, there were two sectors that showed relative strength versus the market, and two sectors that showed relative weakness. So depending on what you like, here we go. Relative strength, you got energy. I don't think I need to really focus on it. You guys know energy was real strong, pulled back later there in the week, but in the month. But energy and healthcare both finished up the month about 1% gains there. If we look inside of energy, your best performer was my top pick actually for the year was FANG, Diamondback Energy, 2.28% gain on the day. Had its best performance out of all of them. There was one stock that got removed from the energy sector, so that one doesn't count. You had Occidental Petroleum looking good as well. Also Holly Frontier, if you look at those stocks, this would probably come in third place really if you're trying to compare and find some ideas there. But good old Diamondback Energy from the market predictions video that I did. Healthcare. If you look at healthcare, a lot of these are looking good. Some starting to look overbought. We talked about this last week. Eli Lilly, a little extended. If you own it, you got to be in profit-taking mode. Abbott Labs, also great move, very exciting. Let it pull back now a little bit. If you see it pull back, totally to be expected. Two sectors that showed relative weakness against the market, that'd be industrials. Industrials down 4% and consumer staples. I talked about this one here because I like this pullback. I think a consumer staples pullback looks good for a lot of different stocks inside of there. Naturally, the biggest pullbacks through January are also the biggest pullbacks year to date so far, so no need to dissect those. In the consumer staples, by the way, the strength, where the pullbacks you want to look to buy are in those that were already strong, right? So we look at Walgreens. It's extended, but let it pull back here. You got a good, strong name that's starting to wake up, well, compared to how it's done over the last couple of years. You also got Molson Coors. We went through a whole thing on that one to talk about how, they had a rough patch through the old virus meltdown there and had a lot of inventory, stale beer, all that great stuff. They're working through it. You got a pullback here in consumer staples. I think that looks good. In the industrials, the strength is in the good old-fashioned, just basic machinery, right? Think Caterpillar, right? Nice and strong back to the 50-day moving average. Think Johnson Controls, basic, non-headline making type stocks here. PCAR, back down to the, we got a little price support. What am I doing that for? I got a mouse. I'm using my hand. Anyways, back down to support there, looking pretty good. And Wabtec, they're called something else now. They're not really called Wabtec anymore. It's like Westinghouse or something. These guys build parts for trains and locomotives and all that great stuff. Merged with GE 2 years ago. They got a nice little pullback here. Good old-fashioned, just traditional, like industrial stocks. They're holding up pretty good. So I thought that was interesting. Let's go on over to, well, that was the sector breakdown. There's take a look at the rest of them if you want to dig in there and kind of see. I moved my screen there. Sorry about that. There's the ticker symbol. All in all, they were all green today. There was nothing really to complain about and everything to be excited about if you're looking at only the S&P sectors. New highs and new lows. Kind of a limited list here today. All of them but Abbott Labs pretty much held up well. Also, all of them but Chipotle were healthcare stocks. So, right, we just talked about that a second ago. We were saying the two sectors that showed relative strength against the market in January, one of them being healthcare. Today, your new highs, they come from healthcare. So that theme, at least in the first day of February, is keeping up. Let's go through here. Quest Diagnostics, that's a nice breakout. So you got an Amazon-looking sort of sideways trend for months and months. All of a sudden breaks out okay volume. Not amazing, but a little volume there to take a look at. Maybe one for a watch list. Chipotle, ever so steadily, just moving higher. They barely were impacted by the virus, as you can see. Just a quick little drop and then right back to work for them. They did great through the virus, actually. Whole Logic here, moving to new highs. That one looked good. Not normally something I would put on the list, but there wasn't enough to really put on our list. It was just a few things. Abbott Labs there. And then you have Varian, which doesn't really count. I think they're getting bought out there. Who'd they get? I forget who bought them out, actually. Anyway, so it did basically doing nothing there. They're in the middle of that merger. No new lows. However, AT&T is one of the closest to making new lows, and so is Verizon. Don't you kind of like that pullback there in Verizon? Like, you feel like this is your spot, right? Like, I don't know. This is kind of if you're a customer of ours, you know that the second half of this year, we have a little something special planned for you guys. And I got to tell you, if we were doing that now, and Verizon was doing what it was now, there'd be a lesson there. So more of that to come. They're both about 10% away. Actually, Verizon's about 11% away, maybe a little less after today. Other than that, I just have a handful of names that are just double digits away from their new lows. So it's probably going to be a little bit before we talk about new 52-week lows. But then again, I probably just jinxed it, right? Hey, let me do one for you here real quick. Didn't get a chance to run a stats play on Verizon. Let's do Walmart. So Walmart's been pulling back here as well. I like the stats plays every now and then. This one sticks out. So Walmart finds itself more extended than it normally is on the downside. And if you take a look back through its history there, 62.5% of the time, if you go 5 days forward, the average bounce is 2.16%. So we're going to go from the lows here today. We're going to go up about 2.16%. We'll call it 142.25. I'm going to draw a line like I usually do, and we'll see what Walmart happens to do over the next 5 days. I'll make a quick note that was our stats play here for today. I'm not telling you to buy it. It's just a fun sort of research-driven thing. So 2.16%, we'll call it 63% of the time it does that, and that is as of today, 1st of February. So we'll keep checking on it, see if Walmart happens to bounce back, and we'll take it from there. All right, let's do stocks in the news. Yeah, and then we'll take your questions, see what I can do. I had a lot to cover, but nothing we can't handle. Did I miss anything? No, I did it. All right, stocks in the news here today. You may have heard this already. Chevron, ExxonMobil last year were apparently talking about a deal. You're not going to expect a lot of movement in the stock price because the deal didn't come through. They talked about it. The virus hit. Oil prices plummeted. They said, we have our own problems to worry about right now. Let's not try to do a merger in this kind of a mess and get regulatory approval and all that. So that was the end of that deal. We'll point out Tilray in our goofy stocks here, up another 5.5% today. Portugal, they got approval in Portugal to sell their goofy products. You may know if you're an avid watcher of the show that we don't actually use that term because I make a whole $4.20 a day to do these videos for you guys. And so if I say the magic word, the green stuff, then I don't get to make the $4. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, you should do one of those videos where you show how much you make on YouTube. I'm like, I don't need people laughing at me, man. They already see this, and they're already laughing, so it's all good. Anyways, that's Tilray's news. Portugal, not sure how big that market is. Didn't do a lot of research there. Not my special area to really focus on, but there you go. Otis Elevator here, basically a flat day overall. They beat on earnings, not by a whole lot there. Guidance was higher. Revenues came in a little bit better than expected. I think there's a share buyback in there somewhere that they're planning. All in all, since the early days of the spinoff there, it's kind of calm here. Hasn't been much. You got a fake breakout in there. We even highlighted, I guess, on the show at some point. It is one that I will start focusing on now. Why? Because you see that red line starting to form. We've got over 200 days of data. That's one of my personal rules there. I don't look at stocks for real consideration until they have at least 200 days of data. Spinoffs are, I guess, a little bit different, but other than that, I just filter them out. Thermo Fisher. So Thermo Fisher in the news also because of earnings. They beat by $3.21. That's got to be some kind of special charge or some sort of special one-time deal there. Revenues much better than expected. What's going on there? Yeah, that's a big jump. I must have missed something. Reasons for such a strong gain there. And if it really was, it would be up a whole lot more than $1.13. So something extra going on there. Virgin Galactic, SPCE is the ticker symbol. 21% gain on the day, even despite being extended. They have a new flight window. Going to be doing a new launch there. They're starting to get a little more attention like SpaceX. So kind of interesting. Blue Origin here and there gets in the headlines, but other than that, these Virgin Galactic guys are moving a little bit faster these days, and thus the headlines come their way. Also, if you like SPACs, the drinking word of 2020 and apparently 2021. Wheels Up. Anybody a Wheels Up member? No? I don't know. They're going to go public. They announced that today, actually. Wheels Up to go public. Ticker symbol is going to be UP, UP, once that all gets situated there. And AMC is really starting to like this CEO here of AMC. I'm kind of cheering for him. You know what I mean? The CEO of AMC says, I have 917 million reasons to be a smiling man right now. Those are his words. I'm not, that's actually his words. They have officially been able to sell enough shares to raise enough money that even if there is not a significant recovery in the theater business, that they should be able to make it through the end of 2021 with no issues there. He actually told that to an analyst, and funny enough, the analyst promptly lowered their price target to $1. I don't know what he didn't like about that. Maybe thought he was being a little arrogant or something. But because of the short squeeze of all the other good stuff out there, why is that phone ringing? What's going on over here? She left her phone? Son of a gun. Oh, we should play a little trick on her. Maybe answer the phone and see. Anyways, yeah, how's it going? So I really like that AMC idea. I think it's awesome. I hope GameStop's doing the same thing. Didn't really look into it, but I thought that was kind of funny there. Tomorrow, we've got earnings. Hope you're ready. UPS, Pfizer, ExxonMobil, Amgen, Amazon, Chipotle, hey, Electronic Arts, Alphabet, British Petroleum, and a whole lot of others. I'll just stop right there. Fastenal, paying out 28 cents. And a few changes there in the S&P 600 that kick in today, actually. Today's the first. I love it. Let me see if I can answer any of your questions, if you happen to have any, and we'll take it from there. That looks good today, by the way. It's got to be the weather. That's probably the weather. Yeah, hey, welcome to the closing beat. Should answer. You're holding AMC. All right. Hope you got a good price. Let's see. Verizon and AT&T close to lows based on expensive bidding war. 5G. Yeah, I don't know why they've pulled back. Actually, I like. So Verizon has actually just pulled back, right? AT&T is a little different story because that one hasn't really performed. So I think there's a difference there. So you look at AT&T, a whole lot of nothing going on. People just not really doing anything. They're just sticking around basically for the 50 cents a quarter, but no performance. So you have no strength. You got nothing to go on there other than news and possibility of the future. You have Verizon, which is just trading in a wild range. Now, that's more interesting because if you happen to think that you're interested in a long-term or mid-term play on Verizon and you buy it just because it's a little overextended, starts to rally, all right, now you've got a reason to say, well, look, that's a decent gain. If I don't want to stick around, I could take some of my profits off. So I like that one better because AT&T is just kind of, sleepy in a way. Yep, I love it. Yeah, right. You see a correction when people sell for long-term capital gains in April and May. Usually that happens in the first couple days of the year. Yeah. January, the first trading day of January is always the most volatile. I don't know that it has much to do around the April time period. When are you accepting new clients? I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying the little quiet time around here. I'm just kidding. I love it. I didn't pull any stats on Amazon's earnings. I'm sorry, I didn't. We should have done that given that they're coming up tomorrow, and Alphabet as well. It'll be the most volatile one out of the group tomorrow, though. Yep. Fan of the dogs of the Dow. We actually did that last year. We tracked the additions and subtractions from the dogs of the Dow and then went back to see how profitable that would have been. I believe there's a model somewhere where it just tracks in real time. I can't think of where it would be, where I saw that, but that might be something I can just grab. Yeah. I love it there. I know. We did. Yeah, that's true. GoPro running up into earnings. That's historically been a pretty wild one there around earnings. Now, they've had a bumpy road. It hasn't been the best run for them. What you don't like is stocks that do that. When a stock runs up into earnings, just tell you, it's easy. If it gaps higher on the earnings results, that's a downside bet. Other than that, I wish them well. Great product, but I don't really have anything exciting to say about them. You said April because last March people were up huge on many positions. Yeah, but it's still this tax year, right? So if they're shooting for the 1 year gains, you'd actually think more like summertime, because you have a lot of people that maybe they bought, even if you bought at the lows, you don't have an impressive gain until you get through summertime, or that, that'll be the 1 year mark. So it could very well be. I mean, that's a good thought there, because there was a boat ton of volume at that point, right? It was an impressive dip buying back then. Meet My says, I'm late. I don't want to hear that. I have one kid, and I like the one kid. Too much? All right, we're going to wrap it up there because this is live, and I don't get to go back and edit out the things that I say. So enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow to do this all over again, I promise. We'll be here. And thanks for watching.